We hear it all the time, right? That data and technology are going to make our government smarter. But what does that actually look like? Is it really just about more sensors and fancy algorithms? Well, today, we're diving into a study that found a surprisingly human answer to that exact question. So, here's the big question for any government in the modern world. You've got all this tech, all this data, all this connectivity. But how do you turn all that stuff into genuinely better, smarter decisions that actually improve people's lives? And you know what? I'm going to give you the spoiler right up front because it's just too good. Researchers took a close look at civil servants in Surabaya, one of Indonesia's biggest cities. And what they found was fascinating. The real power of all this tech, it's not in the code or the data streams. Nope, it's in something much more familiar: the human connections and professional networks that the technology helps create. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we need to break down the four key ingredients that the researchers were looking at. Let's walk through them. First up, social media. And I'm not talking about cat videos or vacation pics. For these government officials, it's a serious professional tool, a way to collaborate with colleagues, get real-time feedback from the public, and even connect with experts halfway around the world. Next, we have big data. This is all about the government's ability to sift through huge, messy piles of information, think public reports, surveys, you name it, to find hidden patterns. It's about making decisions based on actual evidence, not just gut feelings. Third on the list, professional networking. And again, this is way more than just swapping business cards. It's the active, ongoing process of building real relationships with coworkers, outside experts, and even the public. The stronger your network, the better your access to new ideas and information. And finally, the goal of all this, the thing we all want: decision quality. The study measured this by looking at how effective, accurate, and efficient a decision was. Basically, does it work, and does it lead to better public services? So now we've met the key players. Let's see how they're all connected. What did the study find when it looked at the direct cause and effect links between them? Okay, now this diagram might look a little complicated at first glance, but don't worry, it's really just a map. You can see our four ingredients here, and the arrows show who's influencing whom. We're about to unpack the most important connections they found. All right, so the research confirms some things that kind of make sense, right? Using social media and big data helps build stronger networks. Check. Using that same tech also leads directly to better decisions. Check. And having stronger networks also directly improves the quality of your decisions. Makes perfect sense. But this is just setting the stage for the really interesting part. Because when the researchers measured the strength of these links, one of them just blew the others out of the water. The connection between using big data and building a professional network, it had a strength score of over 18. That is dramatically higher than anything else. It tells us that data isn't just for spreadsheets. It's an incredible catalyst for human connection. So, yeah, we've established the basics. Tech is good for networking and it's good for making decisions. But that's not the whole story, not by a long shot. The most interesting part, the real insight here, is how it all fits together. And the answer, the absolute game changer in this whole equation, turns out to be networking. It is the secret sauce that makes all the technology actually work. Here's how it plays out in 3 simple steps. 1. The civil servants use the tech: social media, big data, the works. 2. Using that tech dramatically improves their professional networks, their human connections. And 3, and this is the kicker, it's those stronger human networks that are the real engine driving better decisions. The technology works its magic through people. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The study's conclusion puts it perfectly. They found that networking mediates the effect of the technology. Now, mediates is a fancy research word, but in plain English, it means networking is the essential bridge. It's the channel that takes the raw power of technology and translates it into better government. So, just how important is technology in building these crucial networks? Get ready for this number. The study found that using social media and big data could explain a staggering 88.3% of the improvement in professional networking. I mean, that is a huge, huge impact. So here it is, the big takeaway. We tend to think of government tech as a tool for crunching numbers or automating tasks. But what this study screams from the rooftops is that its real superpower is as a catalyst for human connection. It enhances the networks that let smart people come together and make even smarter decisions. Okay, this is all fascinating for researchers, but what does it mean for the rest of us? Why does this insight from Surabaya actually matter for building better governments everywhere? Well, the lessons are incredibly practical. It means governments should be investing in technology that connects people, not just technology that stores data. It means they should be training their employees not just how to use software, but how to build digital networks, how to break down those old bureaucratic silos, and how to use data to find the right people to talk to. This whole thing perfectly illustrates a much bigger shift that's happening. We're moving beyond the idea of e-government, which was just about putting forms online. This is the blueprint for a truly smart government, one that uses technology to become more responsive, more collaborative, and at its heart, more human. So that leaves us with a really powerful final thought. If we start seeing technology not as a replacement for people, but as a powerful amplifier for human connection, just imagine what kind of problems we could solve. Not just in government, but in our own communities, and maybe even in our own lives.